This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, gender identity, gender focus and the renaissance of feminism. Today is International Women's Day. And it's only 6 months to the general election and fresh faces are eyeing the prize. Come and meet the Opportunities Party. And New Zealand professional golfer Ryan Fox wants to play in the New Zealand Open. And if he can, he'll bring a very famous caddy with him. Good evening and welcome to The South Today. I'm Craig Story. Dunedin celebrated International Women's Day today and celebrated what they call a resurgence in feminism. Organisers said today was about gender-focused action, which means different things to different people.
From Donald Trump to gender-neutral school uniforms, gender politics are on display at Otago Museum today. And with news filtering through that Trump is a step closer to impeachment, these local and international women raised their Stand with Washington banners again for International Women's Day.
This particular hat arrived today from a woman who had travelled from Invercargill, and her story behind this and the other pink pussy hats that are here are on the basis that every time she watches Trump on television, instead of trying to poke his eyes out or hit the TV, she knits. She knits a pink pussy hat. I couldn't think of anything more productive to do with anger than that, so we're proudly wearing her hats today, having brought all the way from Invercargill.
And it's sort of a movement that's swept the world, really, isn't it? The pink hat.
It's a symbol, absolutely.
What does it show to women, do you think, who wear it together?
I think it shows a unification. More than anything, it's really important that the globalisation of the women's movement, not to get stuck on any one issue, is about the collective unification of one shared voice in respect of the oppression that we as women have in a society constructed to specifically, if you like, oppress us.
Women's Day has its roots in the early 20th century labour movements in the United States and Europe. Year 12 Logan Park High School student Alex Hall was there to show the spirit of the women's rights movement is alive, but with a new perspective.
The senior management and the principal have been opposed for like a variety of reasons. A lot of them center around financial issues and that sort of thing, which we can understand, but we've been trying to come up with counter arguments to those issues. So it's going well, which is good.
That's great. And is it you and a group that are sort of behind? And tell me a bit about the new changes, what the changes have been in the uniform.
We haven't had any extreme changes, but there is a transgender enrollment policy for students who are medically transitioning, which we're trying to get updated a little bit so it's more, with the times. And we've recently had tampon machines installed in the girls' bathrooms as well, which is a nice step towards a bit of equality.
The United Nations theme for 2017 targets equal pay with men. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Dunedin North Labour MP David Clark has taken over the position of health spokesperson as Labour reshuffles portfolios before the general election. The reshuffle was announced by Labour leader Andrew Little today. Clark succeeds the outgoing Annette King in the role, and Andrew Little says the two have worked closely on the portfolio together. He says he is confident Mr Clark will do well in the position. And with the general election only 200 days away, the campaigning has already started. The Opportunities Party held their first ever meeting in Invercargill last night, and they're hoping to be movers and shakers in the 2017 Parliament.
About 100 Southlanders heard Opportunities Party leader Gareth Morgan talk politics in Invercargill last night. Hi, I'm Ruby Spink in Invercargill, outside SIT Centre Stage, where the first Opportunities Party meeting was held. The party's on a road trip of New Zealand, hosting meetings all the way from Invercargill to Kaitaia. Morgan says it was a chance to show how the party plans to create change.
Governments are so incremental, so slow to act with problems that hang around for decades. You've just seen it in the last week. This whole thing with New Zealand Super has been hanging about since 1975, when Muldoon did the biggest election bribe ever. And here we are, whatever it is, 42 years later, and we still haven't dealt with it. And they still won't deal with it. And it's time's up, they've got to pull their finger out.
Morgan and Chief of Staff Jeff Simmons explained the party's policies, in particular taxation, the environment, and the party's unconditional basic income, to a largely receptive audience.
I mean, you look at this group tonight, the age thing was right across the spectrum, and I suspect from the questions that were asked, so was the politics. So we're sort of just a bit different there.
The party's been going for just 4 months, and there were plenty of questions on the audience's mind, from taxation and superannuation to swimmable rivers. In the verdict,
I thought, right, I'll come and I'll actually hear what he's got to say. So we're really impressed, and I would like to support the party.
Yes, he's got some pretty straight up points, yeah, which I like, yeah.
I'm a member of his party. I'm not sure if I want to vote for him at this stage, but I want to talk to him a bit more about manufacturing, you know.
The next stop on the road trip is Dunedin tomorrow night, where Morgan says he has a policy announcement to make. I'm Ruby Spink for The South Today.
A new study shows an unholy alliance between rabbits and the Australian redback spider, and it's threatening the existence of the endangered New Zealand chafer beetle. The beetle can only be found in the 81-hectare Cromwell Chafer Beetle Nature Reserve in central Otago. A joint Department of Conservation and University of Otago study has found that rabbit holes are providing spaces for the spiders to build their webs. The redback established a population in the area in the 1980s, which has been growing ever since. New Zealand professional golfer Ryan Fox says he's keen to have his name added to the New Zealand Open Golf Tournament trophy. Oh, really? Fox plays on the European Tour and the PGA Tour of Australasia, but as of Thursday, he'll be competing on home turf, with international caddy Steve Williams carrying his bag. Mina Amso joined them on the 19th.
Top New Zealand golfer Ryan Fox met up with his caddy Steve Williams yesterday for a practice run ahead of the New Zealand Golf Open tomorrow.
We played yesterday for the first time, together, but I walked around with Steve a few times, and it's been pretty good so far.
Fox is predicting the cold weather might present a challenge for the pro golfers at the Open, but the weather won't be a factor for him.
It looks like at least Thursday, Friday are going to be like this, so it should hopefully be some hot scoring. I think the golf courses, for me, are playing a little tougher than they have in previous years. I think the greens are pretty firm, and definitely around the hills there's a fair bit of the long stuff if you miss fairways, so it might be a little more penalising this year, but there's still some good scores to be had.
Steve Williams says he's hoping to see a Kiwi win the tournament this year.
We have some very capable players that can do well. I think golf's very healthy right now, so this is a great chance this week for one of our guys, including Ryan, and Michael Henry's having a great run at the moment. So one of those guys, probably the two favourite Kiwis, it would be great to see one of them step up and put the name on the trophy. It's been a long while, as you've noted, so it'd be good to see a Kiwi winner.
However, last year's winner, Australian Matthew Griffin, indicated today he has other ideas.
Starting tomorrow at the Hills will bring back some good memories, and hopefully channel a bit of that and get off to a good start.
Also playing tomorrow will be Olympic medalist Tom Walsh, more used to putting the shot than hitting the little white ball.
My driver's a little bit iffy, but my short game's actually not too bad. So, but I'm sure on these fast greens it may prove me wrong.
With just hours to go before the start of this year's New Zealand Open, conditions here in Arrowtown are near perfect. A little cool perhaps, but a fine day of golf in prospect tomorrow. I'm Mina Amso for The South Today.
And the weather will be good, Mr. Ryan. Still to come on The South Today, a very exciting business has begun in Dunedin, providing tamoko. And it is so much more than just pictures on your skin. And it is said that there is no greater test of a relationship than riding a tandem bike. So how do you think you'd get on riding from Cape Reinga to Bluff, with Mayor Tim Shadbolt as your co-pilot?
University of Otago. Usually the atmosphere is charged with the energy of student life. But this week is the week before exams.
Hey, Tane. Not now, man. I'm panicking.
Come on, mate. I know just what you need.
In here?
No. Is this it? No. This is the place to ease your stress.
Hey, Tane. Fancy a little cuddle?
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books, with the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know, in recent years, the number of New Zealanders dying from melanoma has been as high as the road toll?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Arrow International knows what the essential ingredient is for accomplishing great projects, working with great people. 30 years on and 3,000 projects later, with 10 offices and 400 staff nationwide, a company who values partnerships with their clients and carries a strong reputation for passion, integrity, and the love of a challenge, excelling in the construction industry and helping to create, with our partners, more iconic New Zealand buildings.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
They say the grass is always greener, but not if you have Ready Lawn. Call Ready Lawn today and make them green with envy.
Thank you for staying with the South today. Invercargill police are investigating a suspicious fire at an Ettrick Street address in Invercargill. Emergency services were called to the house about 8 p.m. Monday evening. The house was unoccupied at the time. Nobody was injured. Invercargill police say that they are keen to hear from anyone who may have been in the Conan Street or Ettrick Street area at the time of the fire. It's believed that Dunedin is now home to the country's southernmost Tamoko studio. Tamoko is traditional Māori tattooing. Faces featuring the handsome Tamoko are becoming more prominent and accepted in society in recent years. And curiously, one of the artists behind the enterprise says that faces like his were what the first visitors to Aotearoa would have encountered, as Daryl Baser discovers. He didn't get inked though.
Tamoko, the practice of telling a person's story through the language of ink on skin. You won't find a koru here or a taniwha there to choose from, as traditional tamoko has a particular tikanga or practice associated with it.
Well, I think one of the primary differences with us is that it starts with a consultation process, which can be lengthy sometimes, and it's just a matter of sharing. Like, I'll share my story with you, and you share yours with me, and then, you know, we're off to a good start, sort of thing. Yeah, and it sort of builds the faith, because there's an element of faith in this, you know, like some people don't know what they're getting into, and they don't know what they're getting, and it's forever. And so you've got to sort of build a relationship where everyone's comfortable before we actually do the work.
Stu McDonald describes himself as always being creative. He was the kid who drew pictures at the back of the maths class. However, he says when he trained 20 years ago, it was more about learning the language and the process than it is these days.
Some form of knowledge about, Māori history, myths and legends and stuff like that. And I suppose a lot of my training were done with old people. I wouldn't say it was like a formal sort of set training where you went to school every day, but you sort of just sought out people that had the information that you needed to help you tell other people's stories. A lot of time with the elders, a lot of, how do I put it, sort of little grueling tests along the way.
Moana Moko Te Waiponamu proprietor Justine Camp left an 11-year career in academia to run the business. She says there are a couple of locals learning the process from Stu McDonald, and she knows they'll learn the proper way of doing things from him.
The tikanga that's involved with it, so the process that the boys use is incredibly unique. So they sit down with each client and we have a long consultation period, and then they draw it, tattoo it on, and then explain the moko to you. So it's quite a long process.
She says McDonald is supervising and training the younger artists in Dunedin, and his training was extensive.
But his grandmother actually took him right around the North Island when he started playing with the tattoo gun quite young, and he spoke to many elders around there about the tikanga of it before they actually let him do the moko. So well schooled, and he's been practising for a good 20 years.
As well as offering traditional Māori tattooing, the entrance to the studio is also a gallery featuring work by contemporary Māori artists. The proprietors have signed a 2-year lease on the premises in Moray Place, and the team at Moana Moko Te Waiponamu believe the time is right for their boutique business. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Beautiful craft. We wish you well, Stu. A man on a mission to raise money for Tear Fund finished his most recent campaign today. Naresh Kumar has cycled from Cape Reinga to the Bluff on a tandem bicycle, and notorious Invercargill Mayor Tim Shadbolt joined him for the last leg.
After cycling 3,300 kilometres from Cape Reinga to Bluff on a tandem bike named Kindness, Naresh Kumar has finally completed his journey. He's raising money for Tear Fund to rescue and rehabilitate some of the 27 million worldwide human trafficking victims. And he's using the bike to educate his passengers.
Because you can't steer, there's no brakes, so you cannot stop when you want to stop. And above all, you are trusting a random stranger, because if I fall, they fall. So this is exactly what happens most of the times in the traffic victims. They have trusted some random stranger because of the promises that they have lured them with. And once they go with them, they have no control over their life anymore. They are treated as slaves. They can't go where they want to go, and they can't say no to whatever atrocity is happening to them. And even worse, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Unlike my passengers, they get out and walk away. So when you give a taste of what it means, that metaphor connects with people. We all wake up every day with all that freedom which these people don't have.
The project's called Freedom Seed, and so far has raised $45,000. Naresh Kumar has been picking up people along the way, and his last passenger was the Mayor Tim Shadbolt.
Well, I've got to confess, I didn't come all the way from Cape Reinga, but it was still a lovely journey, and lots of waves and toots, and I think people are starting to accept cyclists a lot more.
This isn't the first time Kumar's travelled the length of the country. 2 years ago, he ran it in Jandals. He says it's been nice to share the journey this time.
Tim was my 140th passenger on the bike. Anywhere from 3-year-old to 72-year-old rode the bike from 100 meters to 72 kilometers, the longest one.
He says it's been 35 of the best days of his life, but he's looking forward to resting. I'm Ruby Spink for The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, all seriousness is intended as Emergency Management South and prepare for an inevitable event. And we'll peek into tomorrow's ODT and the weather, man.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. We're filming again from our Mosgiel store. We're having a 3-store wide sizzling summer sale. It's the end of the season. We have sizzling prices in short sleeve shirts, polos, shorts, jeans. We've got specials in trousers. It's a sizzling summer sale.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's a sizzling summer sale.
For over 35 years, Roslyn Mowers and Heating have been selling and servicing outdoor power equipment and are well established in home heating, installing wood fires. Call in and meet the friendly team. Roslyn Mowers and Heating, 150 Kaikorai Valley Road.
Oh, help! Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Ecrotech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 117766.
We're at 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Travelling this weekend? Think slow.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know, in recent years, the number of New Zealanders dying from melanoma has been as high as the road toll?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Get finance and get on the road. Talk to MTF today.
Gillians and Silberhorn bring you Rub of the Green, lawn bowls from around the south. Saturday night at 7, replaying on Sunday at 1 p.m. and Tuesday at 3:30.
Thanks again for staying with the South today. Emergency Management Southland is leading a group of local government groups in a project to make sure that the area around the Alpine Fault is ready for a big quake. Pay attention. Project AF8 held a series of one-day workshops around the South Island in the past fortnight. The initiative began last year to bring local, regional and national organisations together to produce a robust emergency response following an Alpine Fault rupture. The project's science leader, Dr. Caroline Orkiston of the University of Otago, says the Alpine Fault ruptures every 300 years. The most recent rupture was 1717. You do the math, which means that the area is due for a large shake. All right, it's time now to turn our attention to the headlines. because it's been a big week. All right, recapping tonight's top stories, Dunedin marked International Women's Day today and celebrated what they call a resurgence in feminism, including gender-focused attention. With the general election 200 days away, the campaigning has already started. The Opportunities Party holding its first ever meeting last night in Invercargill, and Burley Timaru Olympic shot put medalist Tom Walsh was amongst the sporting stars trying their hands at the gentle sport of golf ahead of the New Zealand Open. My goodness me, he's a big fellow. All right, time now. What's in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times tomorrow, Craig Park? Page. Almost got it right.
You can check beforehand. Plenty of reading, that's for sure. We've got an interesting story with the University of Otago School of Physical Education. It's getting hard to say. Last week we had a story saying that they were under review. They were calling for voluntary redundancies among staff there. But this week it's come out that they've been named the 7th best physical education section in world universities. So that's a pretty good effort for it. Obviously the school's dean is pretty excited about that and says hope it's going to lift morale for the staff there ahead of this review.
Well, it reads really well to be 7th best in the world.
Yeah, it is, and I guess the reason they are reviewing is the number of students that are going there, but something like this is sure to encourage a few more to come along, and maybe that could turn them around.
They've got to feel good about themselves.
Yeah, there's a couple of other departments which is also finished in the top 50 in their sections as well. So University of Otago doing really well on the world stage. So
well done them.
Great effort. Fringe Festival underway tonight with the Showcase Gala at the Town Hall. We'll be along there and have full coverage tomorrow. And of course we'll be covering it daily for the next 9 days, giving it plenty of coverage. Profiling those weird and wonderful people that are in town and making a great city for the next fortnight.
Outstanding. I've got my tickets to tonight's gala. That'll be fantastic.
No, it should be fun.
And the city just comes alive with Fringe.
It certainly does.
It's such a good event.
Yes, I'd certainly encourage everyone to get out there and support it because it's well worth having.
And
a bit of on the sporting front, the cricket today, day one down at the University of Otago. Well, we've been down there and got an interesting colour piece looking at some students who were enjoying themselves on the sideline with getting dressed up and enjoying lots of liquid refreshment as well. So it's worth a look. And the New Zealand Golf will have coverage from that as well. Our sports editor Steve Hepburn's up there for the next 4 days. He's also had a chat with Ryan Fox and looking for a New Zealander to finally win it since 2003 when Mahal Pearce of Dunedin was the last New Zealander to pick up the title. So it'd be nice to get it back home again.
Gosh, Dunedin punches so far above its weight.
It certainly does.
We do well. Thank you very much indeed, Craig.
Thank you.
All right, prepare yourself. The weather's coming.
This weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn Sportsville.
Here's the weather shot. Isn't that pretty? Sunrise somewhere in the city. It's very pretty because it's a big blue sky we're under at the moment, and that's a beautiful piece of the Otago coastline. Red tussock like that, good place for spiders to hang out. Looking at the awesome weather situation, another anticyclone is incoming from the Tasman Sea, slipping across the island tomorrow, unpacking a touch of fine but cool weather. Colder at night, frost and a wee bit cloudy around the coast, but meh, we can handle that. To the south, Balclutha, Catlins, Lumsden and Gore, it is fine. Light winds, 14 to 15, mid-teens for you. No big surprises, but good drying weather. Off to the central outlook for Alexandra, light winds and fine for you, 17. Same as that pretty much across the board, Wanaka, Alexandra and Te Anau. Light winds, fine conditions. You'll be outside drinking your latte. Off to the north, Oamaru, afternoon nor'easters and fine and 15, and light winds in Omarama, 16. Timaru, afternoon nor'easters for you, fine and 16, 17 degrees, and Twizel light winds, fine, and we'll call that 17 degrees. Here in Dunedin tonight, fine, a dab of cloud, light southeaster, 5, feels like 7, and for the tonight of the launch of the Fringe Fest. And Thursday, halcyon days are here again, long sunny periods, a bit of cloud by the afternoon. That southwesterly will be dying out, a bit chilly, the numbers 8 and 14. Friday, fine, all day long, sunny, cloud developing later, mild northerlies, cool at night, 6 and 14. Invercargill tonight, it's fine, but cool tonight, 1. Thursday, glorious, sunny evening temperatures of 11 and 14, or sorry, 5 and 15. And Friday, that's it. Showers are a possibility for Friday. Watch out. And that's it for the South today. It's been my pleasure. I'm Craig Story. Thank you. Good evening.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.